A lot of people would love to be financially sovereign. Get up whenever they want to get up in the morning, being financially free to do whatever they want, not having any boss to decide for them, being able to live wherever they want and change their residencies. So many things. And I think today this is something that most people, at least of my generation, aspire to. I've managed to create it, and it was not without any challenges. I had many challenges, and it took me several years to actually achieve this great situation that I'm at right now. And even then, it's going to evolve. I know that this is not the final destination. I know that I might change residency again in the future. I know that I might build new companies, maybe somewhere else abroad. I don't know what the future is made of. But I know that I have what it takes because I've asked myself powerful questions which have led me to create this beautiful life today. I'm Anne-Claire Meret. I'm a Frenchie living in Bali, and I am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years now. My company is in the UK, and I have a residency in Indonesia. It took me years to make this decision, to take the leap, to actually decide to not be only a tourist, where I would put my suitcase and be a digital nomad, but to indeed choose to change the way I live completely and cut cords with France, which has high taxation rates and which was not a country where I felt that I could spread my wings. I recently created an event in France to help people like me to decide if whether or not it's for them to grow more balls, to decide to be financially sovereign. So I'm going to break it down today in this short video because I wanted to design the steps that I've been through to ask myself the powerful question I've asked myself to make decisions the past few years. So the first thing that you need to ask yourself, what is financial sovereignty for you? You know, your own definition of financial sovereignty, and what it means to you will be different than what it means for me because we have different values and we have different desires for the future. So just identify what it means for you, put a definition on it, and define why it's important for you to do it and to achieve that in your life. And then reflect on how much time and how much energy you want to put in this journey of being financially sovereign. Because this is not for the faint of the heart. It takes a lot of dedication, it takes effort, it takes a lot of energy. I know someone last year, she actually was super brave to just cut cords with her country of residence. She was not in France, and she decided to set a company somewhere, a residency somewhere else, and then to just continue traveling. And in the end, she was exhausted. How much energy do you have to dedicate to it? This is super important. If you don't have vitality, it's going to be difficult to face the questions that you have to face because it takes a lot of, strength and courage to build the muscle of making choices for yourself and ask questions and face sometimes some doors because you're going to have to find another way to enter, to find solutions for yourself. So how much juice do you have for it? Next set of questions you need to ask yourself is, how can I find ways to take action in a committed way and follow through, What do you really want to try? And if you knew you couldn't fail, then what would happen? Build up your mindset. Build up your mindset to be able to move forward. And how are you going to build your mindset? If you've not lived like this so far, what do you need to be able to do it? Then the next step. Next step is optimizing your finances. So explore what scares you about doing it. Why didn't you do it so far? Why now? And do you feel any sense of loyalty to your current situation? And why is it now different? I have more questions, but I want to keep it short. I just want to show you everything that you need to take a look at so that you can decide to move toward more financial sovereignty. Then, is there any benefits for you to be in this current situation? And if so, you have to explore them. Because maybe this is more comfortable to be actually in your current situation. And how are you going to face the discomfort of change? And how can you find security, although things are ultimately going to change when you make your decisions? And then, when you figure that out, it's more like the groundwork. Then you can start exploring about residency and mobility and explore what type of countries you would love to live in. And how long are you allowed to stay in these countries as a tourist? And are you allowed to go out and come back again, do a visa run, as we call them? And what type of visas are available in those countries? And are you allowed to work if you stay with those kind of visas? What are the requirements to fill in the paperwork if you decide to go down that road? And also explore, do you want to live there? Is it a place where you feel inspired? Do you feel safe? So many things you need to ask yourself about your residency. And then you don't need to work where you live. Like, for example, I live in Bali. I don't work in Bali. Once in a while I do a retreat. But most of the time I don't work here. My clients are abroad. My company is abroad. Where could you set up your company? And why there? Why is it interesting for you? What are the advantages? And can you inquire the pitfalls by asking other entrepreneurs? I really highly recommend to seek inspiration and mentorship and look up who did what you want to do. You know, creating their residency or setting up their companies abroad. Who are your sources of inspiration, coaches and mentors? And how can you learn from them? Buy their books, do their coaching programs, seek one-on-one mentorship. Can you learn from their videos? That will be very helpful. You're going to be able to fold time. And then, when you're going to have this financial freedom, imagine it. Imagine it. You've done it. You know, you've set up your company abroad. You've set up your residency somewhere else. And you have more financial freedom. How are you going to give back? Because so far, maybe just like I did, until 5 years ago, I was living in France and I was being taxed like a lot of French people. And all this tax money was going some places where I would not approve, you know, not at all. And I actually decided to cut cords when they started to pay for millions, billions of doses of vaccine that I did not support. And I thought, I'm done. I'm done with that shit. I'm going to do something else. And my money will serve higher purposes, values that are dear to my heart. I think it's important to know why we do it and how we're going to give back to the community, because it's not only for us. And I strongly believe that when we take a step towards financial freedom, life helps us because we are serving life itself. And then we get a little help from the invisible. I would not have imagined that I would be able to give back so much to the people around me, to my communities, to organizations, to friends and family members, so many things I can do today. And this makes me really powerful. So what are you going to do with the money you save? Okay, let's continue. If you are self-employed, how are you going to grow the skills you need to grow your business? What stories do you tell yourself about your current business or about what you want to start? And how can you write your prophecy so that it becomes a success? What qualities of being do you need to grow? What skills do you need to grow? And then you can explore the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. And from there, bring the resources and make a list of skills that you need to develop to be able to grow and to really go for it in a realistic way. and not wear only the pink glasses. And then there's not only making money with your skills and with your experiences, but there is also making money with money. Are you willing to learn how to invest? Are you willing to see what's possible if you trade currencies, if you buy crypto, if you invest in beautiful, amazing, emerging companies? What do you feel attracted to? Do you want to dedicate time? Maybe cancel Netflix and instead learn to be financially literate and learn new skills to actually make money with money? Do you have an investment plan? And how can you seek guidance for that? My life shifted when I got a CFO in my company. Suddenly, he was asking me questions that I've never wondered about. I was like, oh my God, I never asked myself this question. It's amazing. And then vision, and the vision for your life was being really helpful for me is really to focus on the vision, what I want to create in this life, and also to surround myself with a very empowering environment. So obviously, the first thing that I'm thinking about is my husband, because he's been so supportive and always expansive in the way that he sees life and that he sees the possibility for him and for us and for me. So who is by your side, and is this person helping you see further and help you expand your mind and have the curiosity for your potential? And is this person supportive of your choices and trust that you can make the great choices? Super important. And then how can you build a surrounding with friends and, peers, and join groups of other people doing the same thing on your journey? And then obviously, how are you going to make decisions on the long run? And how can you learn to fine-tune your ability to know what's right for you? Because ultimately, there is no right or wrong. And yes, you're going to eventually make mistakes, but it's always an opportunity to learn. How are you going to make a difference between what feels right and what doesn't feel right so that you have the best experiences possible? This is something that you get to experience on a daily basis, to acknowledge that you always have the answer, and sometimes you have to go to choose the road that is the most bumpy so that you can get experience and resilience on this road, and that's okay. But I believe that the more we learn from our experience, the less we have to experience some really big challenges. Today, I feel that it's more smooth and easier. So how can you grow that? Oh my God, there is so much to unpack. I'm happy to keep this video short. And if you'd like to work deeper with me, please send me a message. I can help you with that. I can help you ask yourself the best questions. I have written them on a document, and I would love to actually do a webinar in English and share all of that with also English-speaking people all across the world. I believe that we should go where we are best treated, and that countries will then be inspired to actually give best offers, better offers than right now. What's being offered is not necessarily super attractive everywhere. We can all be more financially sovereign and then create something else in the world. And I believe I can do it. I could do it. I'm doing it. And I believe you can do it too, and that you have all the resources to do it. So please reach out if you'd like some help. If you've enjoyed this video, please put a thumbs up and share it. And please shoot your questions in the comments, and I'll be happy to respond to you and create more videos. Bye-bye.